Hi everyone, this is Dr. Mike, host of the free iTunes podcast, Psychiatric Secrets Revealed, but that's not why I'm here today. This is another Saving Savvy episode, this time looking at Chromebooks. And in fact, I'm actually recording this on a Chromebook right now, which is why you see my little background looking so awful and terrible. It's just the way it is. Now, I've actually optimized the light as much as I can to make this recording as good as it can be. And I'm recording directly up into YouTube, which is the way that you have to do it with Chromebooks. And I even wrote out exactly what I want to talk about because this is going to be a one and done recording. So if I cough or scratch my ear or whatever, that's kind of the way it is because it's kind of a pain to record this way. So let me give you a little background. Chromebooks came out in 2011, and at that time, I wasn't very thrilled about them. Why? Well, because they basically seemed like very expensive netbooks that didn't do all the things that a netbook would do. They were basically dumb terminals to the web. And so pretty much I forgot about Chromebooks until this fall. And the reason I thought about them again is strictly because my two high school age kids both received, along with everyone else in the school district, a free Chromebook. Wow, they already had computers, so I was kind of like, oh, that's nice. And so I started to look at the Chromebooks again. And really, I talked to some teachers about it, and they really wanted a collaborative experience, which could be done with Chromebooks. They wanted everyone to have a kind of a higher technology in school, so to use Chromebooks in school. They wanted to also have those Chromebooks available for like a statewide test that's done where everyone has to take the test at the same time. And so the Chromebooks were the ideal choice. Now, I've asked my kids a couple of times since school has started, and both of them have told me repeatedly that they really like the Chromebooks. And in fact, I see them using them much, much more than they use their traditional computers because they're so small and convenient. So I started thinking, well, I need to revisit this topic and I need to see this whole thing about Chromebooks. And so, first of all, why did the school choose a Chromebook? And this will give you an idea why you might think of one too. Well, first of all, they're small. And they're very, very cheap. The one that I'm recording on now is about not even $200. It's an HP. And so they're small, they're cheap, they have excellent battery life. Again, I'm looking at this because I can't edit. They're centrally managed, which means that all the virus protection and software updates and improvements in the end software, like the word processor, is all done elsewhere. And plus, because of that, it's very easy for the administrators to kind of administer these computers among thousands of people. And they can also administer things like access settings, so you don't want the kids necessarily going to porn sites, for instance. And because they're all solid state, they don't generate a lot of heat, they don't have a lot of moving parts, and so they're reliable. So I looked at the Chromebook, and obviously I bought one because my kids won't let me play with theirs, those rotten kids. No, they're great kids, but they still won't let me play with their Chromebooks. And so I bought one. It was pretty cheap. And I thought, well, let's look at it. And I do think that the Chromebook is different than it was in 2011. They definitely have refined the interface so it looks more like a computer so more people can be comfortable with it. Definitely you have seen dramatic improvements in the software that Google offers, and a lot of it is just really pretty good. So for instance, their word processor, and none of these are as good as Microsoft Office, but Microsoft Office is hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and now they want you to rent it every month. Well, that's just goofy. This is all free. And so, for instance, the Docs program, the word processing program, really, I think that you could absolutely do a high school term paper with it without any problem, and even a college term paper. So it's become really flexible, as has their other programs. And plus, Google has introduced a lot of new programs. For instance, the Hangouts program, which is a video chatting program, the Microsoft, oops, shame on me, the Google Pictures app, which allows you to upload JPEGs up to 60 megabytes, an unlimited amount. It allows some very simple editing and other stuff too. So really you have this very robust feel of productivity software and a little fun software thrown in. So that has made things dramatically different, and of course they've improved the Chrome operating system too. So I think those things have made the Chromebooks more usable. In addition, a few other things have happened. Wi-Fi is a lot more universally available, and even though you can run some very simple kind of programs on a Chromebook without Wi-Fi, really you got to have Wi-Fi to get the true experience of the Chromebook, but it's much more available at McDonald's, at Walmart, at your library, etc. And most homes now have Wi-Fi, so not bad there. So let's look at what it's great for. So who would a Chromebook be designed for? I think someone who has basic computer needs, or someone who needs a second computer very cheaply. And the great thing about Chromebooks is that since they're really just a portal to the web, the heavy lifting is done on the web. So you're not really compromising a lot of your experiences because the web is doing the work, the cloud is doing the work, and you're just sending information back and forth. Now there are some limitations, but that's why they can be so cheap. So what do they do well? Well, they do things like they have anything that requires a keyboard. For word processing, spreadsheets, even doing like online banking or whatever. It's easier to do with a keyboard. They're great for that. Great for surfing the web in a traditional way. Great for replying to long emails because they have that keyboard. Great for watching videos like YouTube and Netflix. Great for streaming other things like audio if you have a subscription service or some other way to do that. Great for services, I mentioned already, banking, but anything where you're inputting data, interacting with the screen because you have that nice keyboard. You can do video chat with Google Hangouts. This does not yet, there's no Skype video ability yet on the web, but that may be coming. And just the typical stuff that most people do every single day. And the other thing is that you have all these ports. So you have USB ports, usually an SD port, an HDMI out port, a microphone in port, which also is a speaker out port, and Bluetooth. So you can connect tons of things in a traditional way. Plug in a keyboard, plug in a mouse, operate a speaker, whatever, and all those different options of connectivity. And there's lots of free software available. Clearly the best software comes from Google. The other stuff's a little bit sketchy. Some of it's okay, some less okay. So what do Chromebooks not do well? Well, there's no Skype, but that's probably coming. You really can't run programs locally on the machine. A few select ones you can, but if you want to do, there's a lot of programs, for instance, video editing programs and complicated photo editing programs that simply work best locally. So if I want to take 50 pictures and apply the same white balance to them, that's easy to do on a Mac or a PC, not so easy on a Chromebook. What else don't they do very well? Things like games are limited. There are some games, but they're going to be fairly limited. I mentioned true photo editing, although you can do some stuff. It's not very easy, and it's kind of a pain in the neck if you do anything more than adjust simple contrast or brightness or that sort of stuff. Likewise, sophisticated audio editing is difficult. There are ways to do kind of audio editing, but I do a podcast, and believe me, it would be much easier on my Mac. Same thing with video editing, and what you remember is I'm uploading to YouTube right now, and I'm going to edit on YouTube, but other services are expensive, and you have to pay a fee to use them. So you either pay a monthly kind of access fee, or some services you pay by the minute, and they can, if you're looking for a cheap option, that can be quite expensive. And I really think that the quality of one's Wi-Fi will overall determine their happiness with their Chromebook. Great Wi-Fi, they're going to be pretty happy if they're doing basic tasks. Not so good Wi-Fi, not so happy. All right, so there's a lot of different choices. I actually wrote them down. Your opinion may vary, as always, but I'll tell you, this is my opinion. It's my honest opinion. Do with it what you want. So a Chromebook is for you if you need a computer in a laptop format that does basic computer functions. You're looking for something to, let's say, write spreadsheets or do traditional web activities or to do documents. You don't want to worry about bloat, viruses, eventual slowdowns, update, etc. You just want a hassle-free computer that's going to work. That's what you want a Chromebook for. However, what about a tablet? Well, you want a tablet if you're more into media consumption and you enjoy a wide variety of activities like playing games, reading books, checking personal email. You want to do some video editing, some image editing, some audio editing, and you want to have fun doing it. I'll tell you, I used my big phone when I was on vacation, and I did a ton of photo editing on my phone, which is kind of like a tablet. I'll show you. Here it is. It's kind of a small tablet, but it's pretty big. And it was awesomely fun and very easy to do. So That kind of stuff is much easier to do on a tablet than it would be on a Chromebook. You want to make very high quality videos for YouTube, and you only want to use one device. So you can do that with a tablet, in this case a phone too. And so that's what a tablet or large phone is good for. How about a super cheap laptop? And you can get Windows laptops now, especially if you get a refurb for $200 to $300. That's a usable laptop. I'm not saying it's great, but it's a usable laptop. Well, a cheap laptop is good if cost is all important and you want to do a variety of more complex tasks like video editing, audio editing, or photo editing, things that would be more difficult on a Chromebook. Plus, you want the benefits of a laptop just like you would have with the Chromebook. And don't forget, you can access all the Chrome apps on a regular laptop, so you're not really having any problem with that. However, you have a hassle of dealing with updates, slowdowns, potential viruses, and you have to accept the fact that these cheap laptops will not last very long. They heat up, they don't have proper ventilation, and that you're going to probably wind up replacing it maybe in 2, if you're lucky, 3 years. How about a high-end computer? Now, I love my Macs, and so I'm kind of turning into a Mac fanboy, but we're going to talk about both that and Windows. So if you have a Mac, you have an all-around workhorse that is, of course, much, much more expensive. It's going to work reliably for many years. It's just super quality, and it comes with it tons of free software to do movie editing, audio editing, photo editing, word processing. It's all free. It's all built in. It's awesome. But don't forget, my MacBook Pro is probably 5 to 6 times what this Chromebook cost. So, you know, that's the price you pay. A high-end Windows computer, let's say if you got one at around the same price, it's also going to do a superior job. It's going to be great. It's going to be faster than a cheap laptop. It's going to give you everything. It's going to have more longevity. But again, you still have to worry about that bloatware, viruses, and the things that we talked about with a cheap laptop. And if you are really adventuresome and you have a little computer skill, how about a Linux kind of computer? Basically Linux is an awesome operating system. There's lots of freeware and shareware out there, a lot of open source stuff for just about anything that you would need. Very few problems with viruses, no problems with bloating, and if you have a little skill, much cheaper to operate because you can buy a very basic bare bones computer, install Linux on it, and you're ready to go. So now we're going to switch over to a video that I made with my webcam, a separate webcam, and my MacBook Pro, just to show you if there is a difference, and I hope there better be because, you know, the price difference is 5 or 6 times. So anyways, again, I apologize for this crummy background. That's the best I could do. This is the absolute best lighting, and I will also enhance it in YouTube on there with their editor. So take care, everyone. Let's go to my other video. Bye. Well, I guess not bye. Wait, hold on. All right, I'm now recording using a separate webcam into my MacBook Pro just to give you to see if you can see a difference between this and the Chromebook. My guess is you will, but I haven't looked at both of them, so I don't know yet. Anyways, if you get some time, please give my absolutely free podcast a listen. It's called Psychiatric Secrets Revealed with Dr. Mike. You can find it on iTunes and other podcatching sites. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you like my channel, please subscribe. Thanks, and have a great day.